What's up,
First
everybody? This is
mistake.
Reality Roommates. We're back at it again with another episode. We will be breaking down 2 episodes of Big Brother, episode 15 and episode 16. There's a lot that went on, so we have a lot to say.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
here with my other co-hosts.
What's good, reality roommates? It's your boy Willie.
It's your boy
Yeah.
IV. Let's get it.
Yes, indeed. Now, we're going to get right into the juiciness because we have a lot of stuff to cover. So listen up. We'll be breaking down episode 15 and 16. These two are probably the best 2 episodes of BB so far this season. And this season has brought us a lot of great episodes. So let's get right into it with no hesitation. Episode 15 starts out with Corey and Jared. Yes, Corey and Jared. Them two, they're closer than we expected. Honestly, I didn't know how close they were until this episode. They're extremely close, and they're discussing America. And they kind of go back, bouncing ideas on who to get out, et cetera, because Jared wins the HOH. And they talk about America, and Corey is trying to passively tell him not to put up America. But Jared is very uneasy about America. Because America, he feels that America threw the competition during the pressure cooker competition, which he did, but America is definitely trying to hide that, it seems, this episode. So I want to ask you guys, how do you guys feel about the relationship between Jared and Corey, and also how do you guys feel about America kind of being the target for Jared? You guys can kind of talk in depth about the whole situation. You know, there's a lot more that I haven't simply said right now, but how do you guys feel about that overall situation? Ivan, we'll go with you.
Jared and Corey. So I've known for a while that they've been connected on the feeds. It's kind of a weird situation, right? Because Corey thinks he's way more in line with Jared than he actually is, and you saw that in the diary room where Jared says, Corey's like my number 4. So this is their bad form positioning for Corey, because he thinks, man, Jared, other than America, is his like number 1 ally, I think, and it's not the case.
Yeah. Okay. And what do you feel about Willie?
Honestly, kind of like Ivan said, you can see like the different perspectives. Like Corey, that's his ride or die basically. Besides America, and Jared's, Corey's is like his fourth up after like Izzy and Sheree and them. So it's cool to see that like dynamic. Oh, one thinks, oh, I trust him 100%, and then the other one's like, he's like my 5th option.
Right.
But when it comes to Jared's intentions on getting America out, I kind of didn't understand that. I mean, I guess he did throw the pressure cooker competition, but I feel like that wasn't really good enough reason to get her out this week. At least I feel like it kind of would have been a waste for Jared. I don't know why he even brought interest to it.
I can allude to that a little bit. So what happened is Corey and America has been playing this weird game, and I really hope that they stop. But they have kind of decided where and we saw a glimpse of that when he was talking about America and how he'd be willing to cut her, even though we know that's not the case. There never is with these showmances. But they try to like act like they're not really together in the house as far as like aligned as far as game wise. So like they'll throw each other under the bus on purpose to try to like get people off the scent. But as we could see, inadvertently what you're doing, Corey, is you're putting people on to wanting to get rid of the one person that you're closest to in this house. So it almost backfired on them.
How does it make sense trying to backfire or like trying to like do that? Like kind of what you said? You said they try to what?
Off the scent of them being like a duo. And in my book, I strongly believe people should not do that when you're in the game.
Yeah, no, that doesn't make sense.
In a showmatch with someone, let it be known in a sense, because your allies are truly never going to either A, they're not going to believe you anyway, or B, they're going to try to test the theory by trying to get your person out. And then you're going to have to blow your cards, because now you're going to have to stop that move. And now you're in hot water. We've seen that happen with Kyle. We've like last season. Now we have this again with Corey trying his best to always save America. And it's like, bro, you wouldn't be in this position if you would just let it be known that, hey, that is my person. We are together in a showmance. So going against her effectively means you're going against me. I think if he was more straight about it, Jared would be like, all right, let me not go after her because I am kind of working with Corey. So I guess she's all right for now.
Yeah, makes sense. That makes sense.
Okay. So we do see Jared. He kind of tells Corey, yo, she better not throw this veto competition. She better not throw this veto competition. And he's going absolutely ballistics. He is very worried about her throwing the competition. And Corey ensures him that, yo, she's not going to throw the competition. Relax, calm down. So Jared is forced to believe Corey and kind of adjust to what Corey is saying. And we see America and Corey kind of talk about it. And America just kind of being like, what? This dude is very much tripping. And we see in the veto competition itself, which we can talk about now, the veto competition I love, the whole mini stacking. It's always been one of my favorite competitions. I honestly really want to try it. But it's a very good competition. Love it. But I want to know your guys' opinions on it and how do you guys feel about the winner being Cameron himself. When he's on the block, he wins it. Also, America, she took it pretty serious. She had her game face on. But how do you guys feel about the overall competition itself and then Cameron being the winner?
Man. As for the competition, man, you had to be steady. You had to be like, that looks like a real tough competition, man. Because like everybody was shaking. You guys seen towards the end, Cameron had his thing like basically almost done, and then he twitched a little bit, and then it fell. All the pieces fell over. So it was one of those like what's the word? The intensity and like it was just anxiety. My anxiety was going crazy watching it because like, bro, it's like any wrong move, everything falls over. So I kind of really love that competition. I'm not gonna lie, I really loved it. But when it comes to the winner, man, Cameron, bro, he's a beast, bro. Like winning a competition like that, especially when he needed it the most, like, bro, that was crazy. That was crazy to watch.
Very clutch.
Yeah, very clutch.
Killer Cam, he came through in the. As y'all usually are used to, I have many angles to dissect here. So let's start with the America and Jared of it all. So I actually agree with Jared being very like you could see his anxiety was running crazy as far as thinking that America was going to throw whatever the comp would be. I don't blame him because from their perspective, they just saw America throw that comp to Cameron after spending 14 hours in the pressure cooker. I mean, they don't know the nature of the deal. They don't know if there is a deal. So at that point, your anxiety will be running crazy that she is in the veto with the man, because in that situation, I mean, really the worst nightmare for them would have been America winning it and she decides, hey, I'm going to save Cameron. Like that would have been crazy for them too. Yeah. I totally understand why he was fearful of the situation. And Corey, I think this was a great example of he is lost in the weeds because he was getting visibly very upset. I don't know if you guys people.
Yeah. Nah, he really was. He was getting red.
Yeah, exactly. He was looking hotter than he ever looked on the show as far as like the intensity and being mad. And to me, that's showing all your cards there. That means, you are going to try to take this girl to the very end and everybody else be damned. Yeah. So if I'm married, you need to take that as a red flag. Yeah. As far as the competition goes, I love that comp as well. It's the famous comp that Davon won that comp. That was her first BB competition win. So shout out to Davon for that. And yeah, I love that competition. And Cameron is proving to be the guy, a very dangerous guy in this game.
He really is. He really is proving himself to be a real dangerous guy in this house, man. Crazy.
And I kind of love that for them because, they took him for granted. They put him on the block several times. And each time they thought, oh, we'll take somebody else out. It's cool. We don't need to get Cameron out. And it's like, it's proven that you guys were incorrect. And who knows where this is going to go now,
Yeah, no, Cameron's definitely proving himself to be a guy to be worried about. He's just as good as Heisem was in competitions. It's seeming like he's
winning when he has to.
Yeah, which
Some
is
are just winning just to win.
correct.
Yeah.
Which is to me the greatest type of play to play in, the greatest type of move to play this in, which is if you're in danger, you got to get yourself off and you do it. And we're gonna talk more about Cameron because he does a lot of stuff within this episode and next episode. But moving forward. After the veto competition, we see America, and then we also see Nicole and Felicia all in one room. And within that room, America walks in, and it gets quiet. Now, this is one of the, the famous. This happens to Big Brother all the time. Someone walks in,
Yeah,
it's
all the
awkward.
time.
It's like, whoa, what is going on, right? And
Mhm.
America, ding, 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 red flag. I also want to point out that America is being shown a lot more in these episodes, which is very good.
Yeah,
It's
I
showing
love
that she's
that.
actually, she's playing the game. She's not just floating, which we previously thought. But last episode, she did mention something about Suri, right? So we're seeing America starting to really figure out these players and really involve herself in the game. And she walks in the room and we see them all go silent. She walks up to them, say, yo, guys, are we all good? Felicia, which I was surprised Felicia even said this, she says, yo, you might end up going on the block. And she's like, wait, what? She is confused. And so she runs up to Jared and tries to clarify with Jared as to why she's being named as a potential replacement nom because Cameron wins veto. And so they're talking, and she's basically saying, yo, I'm not throwing anything. What are you thinking? Da da da. And Jared is saying, yo, I think you threw the pressure cook competition. They're going a little bit back and forth, but I want to know how you guys feel. How do you guys feel about, do you guys feel like America is throwing competitions, doing what Jared's saying? To me, Jared didn't really have much valid points. He's saying she threw the competition. Maybe it looked like that, but at the same time, he doesn't really know. He wasn't in that room, so she could defend it with her life. I feel like Jared was kind of overplaying this whole thing, but what do you guys think?
Agreed.
Willie, we'll start
Agreed.
with you.
Yeah, I think he was kind of blowing it over over proportions. Where he was just like, "Oh, they're throwing comps." Oh, like he was too aggressive with it. I mean, you don't really know for sure, like you just said, on that end. But when it comes to like the America walking into like the conversation, yeah, it was pretty awkward for them. And I feel like Felicia, she just didn't know what to say. It was just so like such an awkward like moment. So she was just like, "Oh, you might go on the block," telling America that. Even though I know they were discussing it, but I feel like she just kind of had to just like let it out because it was just like silent or whatever, and kind of just like, I don't know the word, but like, yeah, she just had to let that out. And then honestly, that was really bad. I don't know why she said that. To be honest, that was really bad, a bad thing for her to just blur out, and then making her go confront Jared like, "Yo, what's your issue with me?" kind of type of thing. And then you just see as soon as he goes up, I believe Ivan said this. He said to bring up this point before we filmed this that Blue Kim just walked out. She just cleared it. Like America went in there, got business done. Jared made sure that Blue Kim had to get out of there, man, which was actually really funny to see.
Hilarious.
Yeah, that
How
was
do you feel
hilarious.
about that?
All right. So let's touch on Felicia first. Felicia, this is not her first time doing this type of stuff, and it's actually starting to bug people like Sari a little bit. Izzy, she has loose lips.
Yeah.
Like she
Oh,
just
I didn't know that.
And yeah, that was a moment of that where it's like, yeah, you might go on the block. Like, yo, what are you doing? Like, you can't tell somebody that, especially if that's the plan to put her on the block. Don't tell her before she actually gets on that damn block, because now she's going to do exactly what we saw, which is I'm going to run up there and I'm going to talk to Jared and I'm going to get my way to get up off this potential block.
I think she just gets scared, or like it's kind of like a reflex to her, like, damn, I don't want to lie on the spot, like that's what I feel. Maybe, I don't know.
True, but what game are we playing here?
Man, that big brother, man.
Very true, very true.
Wait, I didn't know she's done this before, where she like blurred out like something like that.
Yes, but they haven't showed it on the show yet. There's a potential. There's been more stuff this week, so there's a potential they'll show it on Sunday. Who knows? Maybe they won't. I don't know. There's been times where she'll just blurt stuff out. Nothing damning, nothing like game ending, but it's getting a little bit on their nerves where it's like, bruh, like we can't tell you certain stuff.
Yeah.
And that's never good in this game because you want your allies to feel comfortable letting you in on everything. So yeah, back to America. I feel like that was very smart of her to run up there and talk to Jared immediately.
We're
That's
seeing
what
that
you want.
authority. Yeah.
Huh?
We're seeing that authority with America, like actually that conviction.
Yes.
Yeah.
She is a fan of the game, so she knows what time it is. If someone just mentions that to you, that's not a good sign. You better go up there and figure things out before it's too late. Very smart on her part. As far as Jared goes, he needs to be careful. You don't want to heist him yourself. And, it's that thing, man. When you have that power and you have the numbers, you feel like you're on top and you can talk however you want to people and etc. But then we've seen in this game countless times the tables can flip anytime. Be careful.
Yeah.
Protect yourself sometimes. And I feel like that was a moment where Jared should have kind of came at it a little better, because you're talking to her like, well, yeah, I got the gun to you. I could put you on the block if I want to. But hey, 2 weeks from now, she could have the gun to you. Like, I'm going to put you on the block. So you want to mind your words sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I do think it was hella hilarious, like Willie mentioned earlier, how he asked Blue to leave and she quickly just
got out of there, man.
Beelined it to the door. And I wanted to touch on the fact that she is one of the most ineffective players that I've seen that's in a showmance ever. And why I say that is because we've seen showmances before in the past where they kind of work symbiotically, where it's like, all right, such and such is in power, but technically that means they're both in power right now. So there's some input from the other person. I'm not saying that Blue should have controlled the HOH this week, but she should have had a lot more input in things than what we are seeing. The only thing that she had input in is Jag ending up as the replacement.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So let's get into something that randomly happened, which is Sari, which I love these like this season we're getting a lot of flip-flops, which make the episodes a lot more interesting. It's not just a direct kill shot. It's more of, I got the scope on this deer, but wait, there's like a flying duck over here. Let's keep going back, So I say that to say Sari brings to Jared's attention that Jag might be a great replacement nominee instead of America. And this is where we see the tide completely turn from America straight onto Jag. Now, there's a couple things that we have to discuss here, right, when it comes to Jag. Sari talks to Jared, and she brings up, to me, so far this season, I would even say, compared to all of last season, like Sari brings up such a beautiful list as to why.
Yeah, I remember you saying that.
I was just like, wow. I have not seen a player like this.
Was astonished, bro.
Like, she just broke it down so perfectly as to why Jag is more of a perfect person to go on the block than America. Number one, she says Jag automatically is kind of like not trusting Jared and Sari after that whole debacle with him going to Sari being like, okay, who else knows that I got saved by Matt? And she goes, oh, it's just me, you, and Matt. But then Jared's over here yapping to this man, telling him, oh, yo, trust me, you're safe. And then that whole dynamic, which we covered in other episodes, so go watch that if you guys are a little confused. But that whole debacle, so they're like, Sari tells Jared, yo, he might not trust us after that, as well as Jag has a number one, which is Blue, and Jag also has a number one to Matt. And getting rid of Jag would make Matt cling on to Sari and would make Blue 100% cling on to Jared, which I find to be so beautiful. The fact that she even said that is absolutely amazing. Also, another point, third point, Jag was 10-0'd. Jag was 10-0'd, so if we're keeping it a buck, Jag is, he's going to be smelling to where the leak was. He's gonna look to why was he 10-0'd? You know what I'm saying? So he's kind of pissed. So Sari's like, oh man, he might just be pissed. So that's another reason. And then the last reason, which is a reason that went completely over my head, which I thought was beautiful, is, Cameron just stood up for almost 14 hours for no reason. He put up Jag. You'd be having Cameron being so happy that you put up Jag and finished off what he started. You know what I'm saying? So, like, all those reasons, she was just breaking them down one by one by one. I was astonished. I sat there and I was clapping the whole entire time like, wow, she's amazing. She's amazing. So, let me know what you guys think. I know that's kind of like a little long, but she was going crazy.
Yeah.
She was spitting with that. So let me know what you guys think. Willie, we'll start with you first.
She was breaking up some valid points. She was. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like at first, I wasn't even thinking about that at all. Like Jag even being like going up potentially because they weren't discussing that at all. But then she kind of came with that on the fly. Like maybe Jag would be a good replacement on me. Boom, 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 boom. And it was just like she was articulating different points on why it would be best for their game, and it was amazing to see, man. That series, that BBIQ that she has, it was like just fully displayed there. Amazing to see on that end. And what was the other point you brought up?
It was the whole Cameron, his pretty much redoing his HOH as well as,
Yeah, I feel like making him happy in that way, making him happy.
Yeah.
Because, there's a potential that he may win the next HOH. So, you kind of build that trust with him, taking out Jag. That's just perfect right there, man. That was Suri breaking down or showcasing some great BB skills, BB IQ right there.
Completely agree.
Brilliant move. Suri definitely, like you guys have already went on about, she impressed me in that moment, being able to come up with that on the fly. I think she was very valid in her concern about Jag still being a bit upset over the 10-0 vote because he was. Like, they didn't show a lot of it on the show, but
they didn't.
The live feeder goes, like, he was investigating and asking questions about the votes, like, a lot. Like, to the point where it's like, all right, Jag, bro, like, chill, bro. Like, you're still in the house, though. He was still, he was kind of obsessing over it, and that's kind of what got him on that block. Because people were kind of concerned, like, yo, he ain't over that.
Yeah.
Wait, who did he confront?
What?
Who did he confront? Was it like basically the whole house or something?
It's like to like America, Corey. There was other individual. I think he spoke to Izzy about it. He had like a one-on-one with Izzy, and he was asking questions about because their reasoning is so the Reed side of things. They're giving Jag the reasoning of, oh well, Corey and America weren't willing to vote for you, so we didn't have the vote, so we have to flip at the last minute. You know, it's not true, but that's the story they're giving him. So the fact that he's still like, no, I'm still digging this answer ain't good enough for me. It's like, bro, you're still living in last week. We're in a new week. Like, I get it. You're suspecting them, but you got to move on because they kept you at the end of the day. Despite everything, they concocted a plan. Well, Suri did, and you're still here. So try to figure out a group to work with and let's move forward. You know what I'm saying? And that's what Jag has had. That's one problem that I noticed about Jag throughout this game is he has certain issues with being flexible. You know what I'm saying? Like, you've got to be able to come up with the next plan. You get what I'm saying? Like, when it came down to the group he started with Riley, for instance, it took him a long time to finally give up that core group of people and realize, like, hey, I gotta work with some new people. Like, it took a long time for him.
You can kind of tell from the show that it did.
Yeah, like it takes him a long time, I think, to move on from game plans that he sets in motion. And in this game, you don't want to be that person because things change at the drop of a hat in this game, and you got to be ready for those changes.
Yeah.
Okay, that's valid. That was valid.
Yeah, no, definitely valid. I like the point that you said about Jag, kind of clinging on too long to certain things. So definitely makes sense. But overall, with the last point within this episode is Jag is now on the block. Do you guys feel like that was a smart move for the whole house? Even I would say mainly, do you feel like that was a smart move for Suri and her gang, and the fact that Jared kind of switched from America to Jag? Do you guys feel like that was smart?
Yeah, that really just benefited. Well, actually, I don't know. Ivan, you take the floor on this one. You take the floor on this
Um, it's a tough call, right? Because I don't know if I would call it smart. Was it a
one. Yeah,
good move?
Sam.
It was kind of hilarious how it occurred because they just told the man in a circle, like, "Yep, Jag's the best option. Yep, it's gonna be Jag. Sorry, Jag."
Yeah,
Yeah,
I thought it was valid though. I thought Blue was kind of valid for saying his name. Granted, that was like your best friend. I don't know why you would say that, but
For real.
it was valid though. Like even Jared had to be like, "Yo, don't ever offer me up like that." Like I don't care
Yo,
how valid you are. Don't offer me.
if I'm Jag, I'm keeping that to the on Tuck. Like, Blue is not really my people for real.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, that is fact. The way she just gave him up like that was crazy.
gave him up
I
quick.
was
I'd have
like,
been looking
what?
at her crazy.
Although I do think it was with good intent. Like I do think she was like, okay, Jag, they think that you're like out to get them. Okay, just prove yourself real quick. Like I think that's what she truly thought. Like I don't think it was.
Here's the
You can't
thing.
blame him for thinking either way.
Here's the thing, and this will move us into the next episode. Here is the thing. It was with good intention from Blue, but I don't know if you guys realize this, but they had every intention. And it's something about this house. It could be something about Suri, but they flip-flopped for the last 72 hours on who was going home.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So at first they had every intention of sending Jag home. I'll keep it a buck with you guys. They were going to send that man.
No, they showed that in the
Yeah,
show.
in the show, I was pretty convinced.
Yeah, I was. Yeah, Jag's got to pack his bags. Like
because they were buying the birthday thing. They were going to send that man home.
Yeah, jeez, man.
Crazy.
Yeah, man. There's definitely when it comes to Jag going home, I was definitely very convinced that he was going to go home. So leading on to episode 16,
all because Suri wanted him out, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, which is crazy because everybody follows suits. But going on to episode 16,
yep,
it's eviction, and we know that Red and Jag are now up on the block, and now Legend 25. The episode comes on with Legend 25 having a meeting, and Red's there, Cameron's there. Miko's there, Felicia's there, Izzy's there, Suri's there, and they're all talking, and they're like, okay, we got to get Jag out. They're all pretty convinced that Jag is going home, but then we see Miko and Felicia talk on the side saying, yes, Jag's going home, but Red keeps talking about Cameron. Is Red and Cameron kind of rekindling? And they start to become fishy about that situation. So, how do you guys feel about the flip-flopping that was going on and them kind of like being like, wait, their relationship might rekindle? Do you guys think their relationship was going to rekindle? Me personally, I don't think so. Or actually,
I think
I'm
definitely
lying.
would have. They're in the same alliance.
Yeah,
so
I'm lying.
It was going to.
I think it would have rekindled for the alliance. Like, okay, let's just get past this for the alliance. You know. So, but how do you guys feel about that? Wooly, we'll start with you.
It was a smart concern for Miko to bring up to Felicia because like they're literally in the same alliance. Like it's not like they're not going to be like conversating game with each other. So it's like they were going to rekindle their relationship. So it was a smart concern for Miko to bring up, to be honest, that they weren't really thinking about. It's kind of crazy that Miko was the only one that was like, yo, they could just, hash it out again and be friends. And then boom, it could be the same situation when they were trying to get Jag out the week before.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. What do you feel about it?
Yeah, I definitely think they would have rekindled because they have just so many similarities, those two dudes. Like, they were super tight. We saw the first week Cameron was HOH, how tight they were and how powerful of a duo they turned out to be. I mean, you had one with HOH, one with Vito. They were doing their damn thing in there. So
yeah,
totally understand the concern that, we let this cat live and now they're going to click back up. So totally understand because I was definitely in the camp of like, what is the point of sending Jag home when I think Jag was a lot more salvageable of a player as far as like, all right, look, we could work with him. Now, don't get me wrong, Red was super, and I mean super in Suri's pocket, but Suri's probably looking at it like, who's not in my pocket right now at this point? in my pocket, so you're expendable.
Yeah.
Yes.
Man, no, that's a very good point. It's funny how you talk about Saria like some savage, which
She literally is.
she
I
is,
mean,
but
She
like
convinced the whole house that Jag should go.
she's a
It's
savage
crazy,
with bubble
man.
wrap all around her because she's not getting poked by nobody. Like that's just what it looks like right now. But let's get into the actual eviction itself, and we see a vote where Red only got 2 votes to stay. And first, I want to say CBS so far, I feel like I've been visibly seeing the effort by the Big Brother crew, right? By
Yeah.
the people, behind the scenes, I've been visibly seeing the effort, which I love. The way that this people were, saying their eviction, who they vote to evict, the order was beautiful. They built up anticipation. It's just something I noticed. I don't know if maybe they've done this in other seasons. I don't know why, but maybe I'm just too invested in this season. But I feel like they built up anticipation great. They started with Bowie Jane. They started with Cameron. Yeah, Bowie Jane and Cameron, and then they started going to where it looks like it's a tie. And then no, it's not a tie. It's 100%. Jag is staying home. So we see that Red has 2 votes to stay, and then Jag has the rest votes to keep him in. Oh no, Red has 2 votes. Yeah, 2 votes to stay, and then Jag.
Yeah.
So how do you guys feel about Red going home, that whole eviction, and Cameron being absolutely blindsided?
Oh yeah.
Absolutely blindsided. We saw his
was,
face. His face was stone cold. How do you guys feel
Yeah.
about that, Ivan? We'll start with you. And Bowie too, but mainly I was just looking at Cameron.
Who care about Bowie, man?
I like Bowie, but Bowie, come on, bro. You're not really stepping.
Man, nobody cares if she's mad.
Look, Bowie's in a good spot this week. I'll say that.
Yeah, that
Mm-hmm.
is true. We'll get into that. We'll get into that HOH win. But how do you feel about
But yeah, I love the blind side. I live for BB blindsides. Shout out to, was it Jasmine who said blindside butterbeans?
Jasmine.
Yes, I love a good BB blindside. I think this one was great because obviously of the end of the episode, so you already know my man is going to be on a warpath right here.
Yeah.
But the suspense was great because when the break came at 2-2, it was tied 2-2. I was like, yo, I don't know where it's going because I didn't keep up with today, so I didn't know what was going on in the house. So I wasn't sure if this was going to be, Jag or Red going home. Now, as far as Red's game being over, it kind of is a case of what they say in the hood, like you don't want to stand too close to people who are hot right now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo,
Yeah.
you got a lot of problems and all that, and you're standing next to them, so you might just get got, as a result of that. And I think that's what happened with Red. You're standing real close to Cam. Cam got off that block. You just ended up being a casualty of war. You know what I'm saying? So it sucks for Red. But I still think it was the right decision, even though it's going to bite somebody in the butt this week or this coming week. It's definitely going to bite them in the butt, but I still think it was the right choice strategically because it definitely weakens Cam. So
Yeah.
this was worth it because despite the end, he's going to have a hard road moving forward without Red.
Mm-hmm.
Red was definitely better for his game than Jag. Because,
Yeah.
I mean, Brendan Jag, you stood 14 hours in the pressure cooker to get rid of Jag. So Jag is in a billion years going to say, yeah, I'm going to work with Cam. It's not happening.
Yeah. No, 100%. Willie, how'd you feel about that?
Oh man, I think getting Red out. Was smart to cripple Cameron. It was very smart to cripple Cameron. Because as you guys can see, if Red was stayed and Cameron just won, it would have been a part 2 of what he did before. So getting Red out was very smart to cripple him, to cripple his game. But when it comes to like the flip, when it comes to like the flip flopping, I really enjoy how it's been like every eviction. It's been a flip flop, right? It seems like.
Yeah.
From the first one to now, it's been a flip flop, and it's amazing to see. It's amazing as a viewer to see. oh, we're gonna get him out. Oh no, but it's better for him to go out. And I kind of like that flip flopping. It really keeps you on the edge of your seats, man. But yeah, I feel like they made the best decision to get Red out because Cameron and Red, they're an undefeated duel right there. Gotta cripple one.
Yes. So now talking about Red getting evicted, seeing the stone cold look that Cameron had, it's time for Killer Cam to get activated. And he indeed did it. And I was thinking, man, what if Bowie Jane won? What if Corey won? What if da-da-da-da-da? But then I forgot, my man Cameron had that stone cold face like, yo, it's over with now. I have to get some vengeance. And he did exactly that in an HOH competition, which I was happy to see them actually compete in the HOH competition. Because this whole season so far, I don't believe we actually got to see them compete other than the first one. So them competing in the HOH competition, love seeing it. It was a whole bunch of, it was like you have to watch something with the toots and the farts, and then you have to answer and kind of memorize. And we see Cameron win it. And when he wins, the camera points straight to the people who got out, and you see Sari looking back with that haunted face, like, oh my gosh, he really won this. He really won. Everybody kind of had that stone cold
clutch,
face.
though, man.
We did see Bowie with that nice big old smile, but Cameron comes over and everybody's kind of clapping, but no one's getting up and hugging him and doing all that, like they usually do with the HOH.
They're shocked, bro.
So, man, how do you guys feel leading into next week? Like Cameron won the HOH. How do you guys feel? Willie, we'll start with you.
We're excited. I mean, I think if I can speak for all of us that we're really excited to see this next episode, man. Honestly, I definitely got to tune into the live feeds, man. A cliffhanger like that, you got to, bro. You got to tune into the live feed. So I'm definitely gonna check that out for sure, man. I want to know who he's gonna go after, man. I definitely think he's gonna go after Sari, Felicia, one of them, like Sari, Felicia, or Izzy. I definitely feel like that's the big three. Or Jared. I feel like one of those four, they're definitely gonna be on this man's radar, and I'm excited to see, man. He has war paint on his face. He's ready. He looks like he's just ready to get some revenge, man, and I love it. I'm gonna love to see it, man.
Absolutely.
Yo, I'm ecstatic, man. Like, I live for the chaos in this house, so I hate when one side is dominating too much. So I'm for Cameron coming through. Killer Cam did his thing. He had that stone face on. I feel like he had a headphone in and he was listening to the Hillbillies by Kendrick and Baby Keem, because he was in the zone.
Yeah.
Nah, he had that fire. He had fire in his eyes, bro.
I love when the camera panned over and everybody looked sick. I mean, you got look like he was ready to throw up. Everybody looked like this is their worst nightmare, and I was loving it.
Yeah, no,
I love how it was just back to back. Like, oh, you got just backstab me, or bet win that competition. Then we had to do and just straight, just stone faces. Just what did we just witness?
Exactly, and I feel like this week it's going to be great feeds, like Willie said, because everybody's running around and squirming. Okay, they've never this game has not had to face adversity, I should say. She has not had to face adversity once in this game. The last time Cameron won HOH, we all thought, oh crap, this is the time. They're cooked. And he totally bought into that fake alliance that they sold him, Legend 25. So that placated him, and we didn't get what we thought we were going to get. But I think this time, there's no saving them. They just got rid of his homeboy Red and lied to his face all week about get Jag out. So he is taking one of them out. I highly doubt he can be fooled into taking. I know what they're going to do. They're going to try to tell him, get America out or get Corey out. I don't see him falling for that. I think he's going after one of the big four. But I think Sari, being as smart as she is, they're going to blame all this stuff on, you know who? Felicia.
Oh. Felicia, whoa.
For all this. Because you heard what Red said in his exit interview. He said he was mentioning Felicia back to back. Oh, Felicia got a relationship with somebody. Oh, Felicia, I shouldn't have trusted Felicia.
Damn.
These guys think, and shout out to Sari for being so brilliant. She has placed it where Felicia is the head woman in charge when she isn't. But to the Fed, they think it's Felicia who's the boss, so they're gonna take her out.
That's gonna be interesting to see. That's gonna be interesting to see because I don't see Felicia as that, but I'm the audience. So,
right,
if Cameron views Felicia as the head,
yeah, because Red from his exit interview, he clearly thinks Felicia has way more clout than she really does. So I think if he thinks that, there's a high chance that Cameron also thinks that. So his main target might be a Felicia. So we could see a Felicia Izzy or a Felicia Jared or maybe a Felicia Sari. But Sari's got enough clout and enough people in her pocket. I think Felicia goes home before Sari.
Yeah, I completely agree. Yeah. Peace, man. This is gonna be exciting, man.
Definitely gonna be a great episode to see Sunday. Julie Chen did leave us with a couple facts for you guys if you guys want to, just listen up real quick. So Thursday, the Big Brother episode next Thursday is gonna be starting at 8 instead of 9, and she has news about the jury. So I find those two things to be very, very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think
so there's going to be a twist in the jury, right?
What was that?
She said there's going to be a twist to the jury this season, right? I believe she said something like that.
Something along those
lines. Yeah.
My guess is there might be another battle back. I mean, this is the longest season ever. It's 100 days. So I feel like there's going to be another battle back, in my opinion.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like there has to.
Yeah. And let's leave with a closing question. Ivan, I believe you had something?
As we do every week on Thursdays, I want to know who you guys think is in the best positioning in the house and who do you think is in the worst positioning in the house.
Okay. Willie, you would like me to go first or you want to go first?
You can go first. I got to think about this one, man.
Okay, so who I personally think is in the best positioning of the house so far, I would honestly have to say Corey once again. Now, I know people are kind of worried about America and him, but at the same time, I feel like America's not causing too much waves to the point where it's something that she can't redirect like she did with Jag. So I do think Corey's in a great position. He's playing the game slow.
You think he's in the best, though?
The best position, yes. 100%. 100%. I don't see Cameron targeting him at all. I don't see anyone really targeting him at all. He doesn't paint a huge red target on his back. He's kind of staying low, still playing a slow game, and I'm looking forward to seeing him ram it up. Once jury time comes up, I feel like that's when he's gonna ram it up. Granted, he was close to winning the HOH this time, so it's gonna be. I have my eyes close on Corey. Sari also to me is second, but first to me is Corey. Then for the worst position, I would personally have to say, man, this week, if what you said about Felicia is true, then her. But I would have to say, honestly, I think Cameron is going to have his eyes set on who he thinks saved Jag the first time. And so I think he thinks it's Matt. So he might go for Matt or Jared. But I can see Sari kind of just building a barricade around Jared. So I would have to say Matt or Blues in the worst seat. I feel like Jag's gonna take a back seat this week and really kind of make himself, I'm not in this. I'm not in none of these. He's gonna fall back. So I can see Jag really like just putting himself far in the back and trying not to get hit by a stray. But I do think Matt and Blue are in the worst positions currently.
Okay. When you just brought up Jag, I feel like Jag's kind of in the middle. He's not in the best or worst. I feel like Cameron is kind of just been there, done that. And then he's not really going to be worried about Jag anymore. He's worried about the head of the house. And you also said Sari is in one of the best positions. Definitely not. She's in one of the worst positions.
Man, stop trying to debunk my points, man. You say yours.
I'm just saying, because that was crazy. But best position, I mean, I think it's pretty obvious Bowie or Miko. Miko for being just a floater and not really doing much in the house. And Bowie because she just voted to keep Red. She just voted to keep Red. So that can honestly build some friendships, some, game. Like they could work together, Cameron and Bowie. because I guess they had similar goals, but we've seen that didn't work out. But yeah, I think it's pretty obvious that Bowie and Miko are in the best position. But when it comes to the worst position, definitely Sari for being kind of the head honcho in the house. Felicia as well. Yeah, I feel like Felicia and Sari are definitely just in hot water right now, to be honest.
Yeah. Okay. How do you feel about him?
All right. So, man, I'm so excited to see how this week plays out. There's going to be so much chaos, and I'm living for it. I might have the feeds on tonight until I go to sleep.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure.
So, all right, best positioning. I'm going with, other than Cameron, of course, he is the HOH, so he is the top man of the week. But I got to go with, I got to agree with Willie here. Bowie Jane. She is tough this week. There's no way in this world, I would bet money that there's no way Bowie Jane ends up on the block this week. It's literally impossible. And if Cameron were to put Bowie Jane on the block this week,
he wasted a week. He wasted
the worst player of all time because his first HOH was basically ruined, right? By going to Jag of all people and standing there for 14 hours when it was clear he should have went after the big four with Izzy, Felicia, Sari, or Jared. So if he were to put Bowie Jane on the block this week, he's absolutely insane. Worst player of all time in my book.
Yeah, I feel like that's valid.
So I think Bowie Jane is in the best positioning. The only thing with her is she does not do strategic talks with anyone. So I would hope that she at least talks to Cameron of all people about some strategy of some sort. They need to figure something out this week and use this week as a way to build goodwill with some other players and do something. Other than Bowie Jane, another great positioning person, like Willie said. I'm sorry I have to steal your picks here, but Miko's in a great position. He's like furniture here. Okay, people like, is Miko a person in this house? And that's great. This is where you want to be when stuff is getting hot, because things are getting really hot in the house, and you got big personalities walking around. So you want to be furniture in this position because, I mean, you got showmances prancing around the house. You got Izzy. We know Izzy's wild in the house. We got Sari playing Godfather or Godmother in the house. You got Felicia. You got big personalities in the house. And then you got me, Cole, chilling in the corner. Who's going to waste the week and put me, Cole, up?
That would be good.
So,
honestly, man,
those two people are the top of the top as far as positioning-wise for this week. Who knows what happens next week? But the worst positioning I would give it to two people, and that's going to be Izzy is number one in worst positioning. I'm surprised neither of you guys mentioned her because let's remember when Cam had HOH, who was he thinking about backdooring?
Izzy, he was.
Izzy. So I don't think he thinks about it anymore. I think he's going to put her on the block or backdoor her this week. Who knows? So I think she's in the worst positioning. And I don't think she can hide behind anyone else because we all know she is a big, big, big fan of Sari. So I don't think she's willing to throw Sari under the bus ever in life because she's such a fan of her outside of the house, just a fan of her as a whole. So this is a person who's probably not going to throw Sari under the bus, even if she has the perfect opportunity to. So I think she'll fall on the sword for Sari, which is insane. But I think she would do that. And then the second worst positioning, I would give it to Jared because, I mean, bro, you're walking around in the show mats. It's kind of hard to hide, man. You're the other physically gifted individual in the house other than Matt. I mean, Corey's not really that. So it's Cameron, Matt, and Jared. And I guess Jag, I don't think Jag's really physically imposing like Jared and Matt are. So if Cameron is thinking like, I'll just take a shot at Jared and get him out of here potentially, maybe, you know. And he's in a showmance too, so his vote really counts for two, right? And clearly, Jared is the head of that showmance. Like Blue's not thinking of great ideas and all that good stuff. She's not doing strategy like that. It's Jared, right? So I think Jared and Izzy, there's a high chance they end up on that block together, brother and sister. What is Sari gonna do? Is she going to pick her biological child? or her adopted child. I think she just should stick with Izzy because Jared is a liability. He's shown that in this game countless amounts of times so far. Let Jared go to the jury. If I'm her, I think despite Cirie being in danger this week, I think this is where Cirie proves that she is a BB legend. I think we're going to see something this week that's going to prove that she is a legendary player because I think she's going to manipulate the heck out of this situation where she either A, does not touch that block, or she sits next to the person who goes home and she makes sure to engineer that.
That would be insane to see, man.
Valid points.
That will put her up there.
Valid points. I didn't think about Izzy.
Yeah, saying that'll make Cirie a GOAT, man. If she could pull that off, not even like being mentioned to go on the block, man, she's the GOAT, man. The GOAT.
So many targets around her that, and people still aren't like, Cameron isn't sure yet that Cirie is the head person. Mm-hmm. So I think with all those floating targets around her, I think one of her people gets got, but I don't think she's going home this week. It's going to be either Jared, Felicia, or Izzy. I would hate to see Izzy go, but I know that her and Cameron aren't particularly close or friends. So
yeah,
it'll be interesting to see. Honestly, I do. You bring up some very, very valid points. The whole what she say, her actual son or her adopted. That's pretty hilarious. But let us know what you guys think. We will be looking forward to every single one of your comments because we will be commenting back to every single one of your comments. We will be also reviewing every single BB episode for the rest of the season. Hit the subscribe button, like if you're new to the channel. And yeah, let us know what you guys think about these 2 episodes. We'll be coming more and more for every single episode of the season. We are Reality Roommates, and we are out. Peace.